Hello, my friends. I welcome you to another episode of Aditya Talks. And today we have Mr. John Pradeep, and he is a very interesting person. And he is India's first ever theater-based life coach. This is a new concept, so we are going to learn a lot more about him on this. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this interview, Aditya. I'm looking forward to this interview.
And sir, please tell us about the major challenges children and parents are facing these days. And you may know these things better than the children and the parents themselves. They do not know. Are these challenges told by themselves, or do you do a test and analyze? Please elaborate.
Okay, I don't test and analyze any challenges as such, but this is one thing that's been hurting me for a long time. This is, if you are a child listening to this, listen to this. Like this is for you also. If you're a parent, this is for you also. And I think you already know this problem that is happening also. So now you see, before the lockdown, what was happening was parents had this restricted screen time and all of those things, and they were like, you can use it, cannot use it, and all of that. So then after lockdown started, we had online schools and everything. So children had their own digital devices, and after that, when they had their digital devices, before lockdown again, we were playing games in some way, like saying, hey, 1 hour, half an hour, can I do, and all those things. Now while my class is happening, I know how to do alt tab, go to a different screen and play myself, all of those things. And now that happened, more of playing games leads you to more of addiction also, right? So now that, sorry, edit. So now more of that game, sorry, yeah, now more of playing that games leads you to get addicted to it also, right? So now when that happens, it's about saying, hey, I will play without my parents knowing about it. Now it's gone to one more level higher than that. You know what's happened? Now parents have found out that the children are addicted and they're playing so much games and all that. Now parents can threaten to some extent, punish to some extent, and all of that happening. But after that, what next? Because now children are like, that I play, no? That's all. What can you do? That's where it is. Because a lot of children are doing that. Now that's happening not because of the children are bad children. That's because they are addicted. If you are a child listening to this, there is one thing that I want to tell you, saying, how do you identify addiction? You identify addiction when you want to stop it but cannot stop it. Okay, now this is the logic that I tell everybody. You are free to experience anything in this world. Adults, children, whatever, you're free to experience anything in this world. Go out and make stories. Do anything you want. But please do not get addicted to anything out there. So if you know these symptoms are happening, if you feel like, hey, I think I'm getting addicted to this, stop it there. Because addiction cannot take you over anything. Okay, that's something that I teach children. So now that's one thing where you want to keep it away but cannot keep it away. Like I right now have an addiction. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I quickly check through all my messages, Instagram and all of those things. My idea is to start my morning routine by 5:30. But the phone is there with me. I keep scrolling. And it becomes 5:40, and then I'm keep scrolling. 5:45, 5:50, I keep scrolling. My children, they will come for my morning routine at 6:45. Now 6:30, I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, only 15 more minutes, I have to get everything ready, and I come do this. Now you know what? In our it's called Young Achievers Morning. In our Young Achievers Morning, there is something called a habit tracker. You know what my habit tracker for this period is to open eyes and wake up from the bed. I'm still finding it difficult. I can't open eyes. I open eyes and immediately my phone, my hand goes like this. Where's my phone? I keep it away and I reach out and take that phone. And then I sit there. So in the recent week, I've been able to like get up from the bed by around 5:30. I wake up at 5 o'clock, that's for sure. But see that I am there with that addiction right now. Okay, children, this one thing. Okay, second symptom of getting addicted is when you immediately stop that, you feel like really empty. Like you do something and then you like stop it, you feel really empty. That is when you stop it. But when somebody else stops it, you feel really angry, and you after that you regret saying, why was I so angry? Yeah, so when you know that, you know you're addicted. That's one big problem that I'm seeing in the recent days. Okay, parents,
Yes.
again, yeah, so if this is the problem, reach out to some professional help. That will surely help you. Okay, please do not just say this will get better, not all of those things. No, if this is a problem, this is a problem. I've seen the extremes of this going and happening. Like I've seen children who have stolen things for them to have their digital devices, children who have lied to a lot of people, like unfriended a lot of people, like close friends, they fought with each other. All like there were some children, at least I can remember two people who anonymously wrote to me like a really bad letter saying you're not good, like the words that I cannot tell here. Like it was basically a Google form that I sent out to everybody asking them to fill for a certain reason. But this fellow took that opportunity. I know who it is, but I did not ask them. But two people, they took their this opportunity to just like curse me to the core. I'm okay with that because I know where they are, what they are going through. But parents, no. So you need to be very, very careful about this because you are addicted to that. You are not able to come out of it. Children, they still don't have their brain completely developed. They can't they don't have that self-resilience. So now it's about you guiding them. Yeah, that's where it is.
Yes. Yes. Well, you are certainly true about the addiction part. Many children around me are addicted to games and all of that. I myself got addicted a lot to gaming and playing a game, like at least like just playing one or 1.5 hour a day. So it is a very big problem. And since and this is majorly because you cannot do like much of a physical activity, only yoga and something like that, and it is very boring for many children out there, and they just invest their time in games. So it is a really big problem, especially during this time. Sir, please tell us, how do you help all these children overcome these challenges? Can you explain with an example?
Example, I think I already told you. Lavhit was there.
Yes.
Lavhit, this boy who was a rebel, when he found something that he's really passionate about, his whole life changed. Likewise, I have another boy who was actually struggling with addiction. This boy was, when I had my first orientation session with him, he's sitting like this. And he's like, hey, what do you love doing? He's like, I don't know. Hey, anything that interests you? I don't know. Hey, anything that you do without your without time passing? I don't know. I'm like, hey, what do you do generally? I play some games. I said, games, really? Okay. And what all game do you play? Minecraft. And now what is that? The Fortnite and all of those things. And do you also study well? Yeah, I study really well. I know how to study, how to play games, but my parents keep scolding me whenever I do something, whenever I do games. And I said, oh, really? Oh, okay. Then I think you should make videos about how to advise people about how to study and play game at the same time. He said, yeah, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, if you make if you tell people how they can manage their time and gaming together, then all the parents will say, look at this boy, he is doing everything, you have to be like him. And the children will go to parents and say, look at this boy, I can be like him, allow me to play my games. yeah, you'll become an example. He's like, yeah, that's a great idea, I want to do that. And he started doing this. Like he goes out and speaks to people and tells them how to manage time, all of those things, right? So now that's the example part of it. So what's happened here, he got that self-esteem, saying I am becoming that unique leader who is advising my own people about how exactly I can still follow what I'm interested in. You get the idea?
Yes.
So now that happens, that switch inside happens. And says, I am the leader, I have got the self-esteem, I have to behave myself because people are watching me. People are watching me
Yes.
is something that's changing the mindset completely.
Yes. So basically, what I understand from your two examples, just summarizing it for my viewers, basically, sir basically develops on the passion of the child. You identify the passion and you try to help them in whatsoever way to develop on that passion. So, sir, it is a very interesting thing, and ultimately, doing what you love is what makes you better. And sir, please, like many kids these days are over pampered and like to bask in like in their own comfort zone. How essential is it to pull them out of it, and how to do that?
Okay, so when I say comfort zone, yeah. So there's this thing called, you find your comfort zone and you work on that. Okay, but finding your comfort zone is very very important. Okay, like I'll give you this example. For example, if you're playing cricket, if you know that you're a middle order batsman, that's your comfort zone. If people ask you to go for opening, you will say no, 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 I will not go opening, I will be in my comfort zone. That's the product of being in the comfort zone. So you find out what your comfort zone is and you do amazingly well. Like for example, Aditya might be thinking, might be like, for example, Aditya, his comfort zone is interviewing people, talking to people, and all of those things. Right. So likewise, if you find the right kind of comfort zone, then you excel. You do amazingly well. Okay. But when you don't find your comfort zone, and if you think sleeping, sitting without doing anything are your comfort zone, then I want to tell you one example. Okay. I conduct public speaking workshops. Okay, this online live. So what is public speaking? People are paying money, signing up and coming saying, hey, I want to become a public speaker. Now on the first day I asked them to turn their video on, they are shy. Why? Because they don't want to come out of their comfort zone. So they're sitting there and wondering, like, I want to hide behind this muted video. I was like, hey, why did you sign up for this workshop? Okay, so then I say, I'm going to push you out of this comfort zone right now. Like, give you a little bit taste of what that means to be a public speaker. If you're not comfortable doing this, then you might not become a public speaker. I say, all of you, please turn on videos. So like some 2-3 more people will turn on videos, others will still stay there. I'm like, this is a public speaking workshop. If you're not comfortable turning your camera on, I'm not even asking you to talk right now, but in my workshop I will ask you to jump, dance, everything. But if you're not comfortable turning your camera on right now, you can leave this workshop. And like some people will leave, but other people will be like there waiting, saying he will switch and go to the next topic. You know what I will do? I will go to my participants list. I will start removing all the people with their cameras off. Unless somebody is messaging me and saying, hey, my internet is bad, that is why I have the camera off. Or I'm right now walking outside, I will soon settle down and turn my camera on. Unless they're sending that message to me, I will remove them from there. You know what? Like, all of us want to be amazing. Okay, like I want to get 100 marks, but that one mark, no, that first mark you need to get, come out of your comfort zone and do something. Oh, this I won't do, but I want 100 marks. You won't get it. Right?
Yes.
So now getting used to that comfort zone, like coming out of the comfort zone, is a feeling. Like you know that's the feeling that you get like a little nervous. Like we had the same feeling when we started this, right? So like we come on Zoom. I haven't met Aditya before. Aditya hasn't met me before. So both of us have that small nervousness, and we're like, yeah, I'm not feeling very comfortable, but still I want to start this off. Right? So when you start and you come out of that comfort zone, there is one feeling that both of us have. Both of us like, yeah, we are sitting here and we're doing this interview, we're feeling happy about it, we're comfortable right now. But what happens when that first comfort zone, like coming out of the comfort zone, that anxiousness is hitting, and you're telling the anxiousness saying, yeah, I'm not feeling comfortable, I don't want to do this, and go off. All of this does not happen. You see, that's the first step. This reminds me of one big one picture that I have seen. It's like one on the it's like a lot of stairs going to the sky, but the first step is like taller than my head. So I have to try my best to climb that first step. Second step, third step, fourth step is all very, very simple. Right? So now if I know I am not feeling good, challenge yourself and do it. Don't do all the things. Do the first step, second step onwards, you'll enjoy doing. And there's one more thing I want to say. Anything you want to do new, do it two times. Try it 2 times. Because first time you tried, anything would have been wrong. Like something from the other side would have been wrong, something that from your side would have been wrong, all of those things. But if you try it 2 times and then you still do not like it, then third time don't do it. Okay? But if you tried it 1 time and because any reason you decided saying, I am not going to continue doing this, then you failed it there.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, sir.
Your video got stuck, Aditya. Is that my internet? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So basically, as you said, the first step is the half the battle won. You have to just come out of your comfort zone. Many children these days have the comfort zone, like not studying on the table, taking out your book and studying on the Zoom. You do not have to, like, the teacher will not know you're studying at all or just listening on the couch. So it is a very bad thing. Like children are addicted and they are in their comfort zone and they just do not want to do anything except that, and they have become very lazy. Sir, please tell me about any parenting tips for our parent viewers out there.
Okay, so parenting tips, I don't know. Like one big parenting tip that I want to tell about parenting itself is, we actually think we are good parents, which is not good. We think, oh, I got a child and I became a parent and I can be a better parent. It is not good. Yeah, because like even if I have to go to a tea shop and start working at the tea shop, I have to learn how to make the tea. Right? So now this parenting is a huge decision. There's a human being that came to you, and you need to know a little bit more about what you have to do as a parent. Right? So one advice that I have for all the parents is to say, please go learn somewhere, Google, article, course, whatever, book, something, but surely learn before you actually become a parent. And also after you become a parent, continue learning. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, don't worry much about what your child will become later on. Just let them to go and explore all that they love doing. And that also, I have a lot of parents coming to me and saying, hey, last week he said he wants to dance, now he's saying he wants to go to chess. What do I do? Just put him in chess. Because as children they need to experience as much as possible. They have to explore all of these things for them to find out when they are around 10, 11, 12 or sometime 18. In my case I was 27 when I found saying, oh, this is what I want to do in life. Until then I was doing all of those physiotherapy and biotechnology and MBA and all of those things. I didn't even know what I wanted until I was 27 years old. Right? Your children are too young for that. Just that they need to have that experience of working or doing a lot of things, so they know this is good, this is bad, this is I love doing this, I don't like doing this, all of those things. So they'll get an idea when they actually do it. They will not get an idea when they listen to it or learn about it or they hear from it. They have to do to learn is one of my tips that I want to say.
Yes. Sir, well, that was certainly true. But sir, please tell us about your 5 learnings from your work and life, because you have affected so many children. You have talked to so many children, transformed them, even many parents. What five things have you learned from that aspect of your life?
Okay, so I'm going to go random. I'm going to improv and tell you what exactly what comes to my mind as I keep talking. Okay, one, perfection is a myth, which is a very recent learning of mine. Not very recent learning, meaning in the past 2-3 years I've been following this very much, where I say a lot of people say if I do it I should do it perfectly, otherwise I will not do it, which is a really big excuse for you to not do it. Okay, many people say this and they just sit saying, hey, I will not do it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do it. So now that's one thing. What I say is jump in and then learn. Okay, I learned ventriloquism once, and that was like my trainer was called Venki Monkey. He's known for that because his name is Venki and he had a monkey in his hand, and he taught me how to do ventriloquism. Before that, I went to a lot of people to learn this, and everybody said exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, all of those things. Venki, he called me and he said, take the monkey and like put your hands inside the monkey, hold the mouth, now talk. I spoke and he said, yeah, that looks good, you can learn it, don't worry. And he only taught it that way. Like, this is like saying, if I have to learn swimming, jump in and now figure it out. I will give you all safety precautions and everything, but jump in. Not standing outside saying, do this exercise and then shake your legs and all of those things and then say, now you are perfect, now jump. You are going to do the same thing again inside. Yeah, so that's my thought. Jump in. Even if you're not ready, jump in, start off. Okay, that's one learning, I think, because I immediately think of one course and I say, yeah, I want to launch this course, come on, next week let's launch it. And that's something that I do, and they work really well. Otherwise, like that way I have my deadline and all that. Okay, second thing, have a deadline for yourself. Okay, if you don't have a deadline, you're just just going to keep doing it on and on and on. If you don't so you have to say, I have to finish it by this time, and if I don't finish it, there is something that I need to lose for sure. I have this formula of having an accountability partner. That's my third learning. Accountability partner is somebody whom you go to and tell them saying, hey, I'm planning to do this, can you please watch on me if I'm surely doing it? We're like, what happened to you, why are you talking like this? I'll say, hey, every Saturday if you call me and ask me if I've done this, and if I have not done it, I will give you 1,000 rupees. Then they're like, oh, that looks interesting. Okay, every Saturday I will call you. I will keep a reminder for myself. I'll call you. So that's the third thing. Accountability partner. There is a website where you can have to pay $5 every month to have an accountability partner, just to scold you. Okay, that's the third thing. Fourth thing is to have role models for yourselves on like what you want. When you have clarity on what you want to do, then you will have clarity on whom to follow. Right now our role models are generally people that are talked about. Like I kept telling Abdul Kalam was my role model for a long time, because everybody says Abdul Kalam is a role model. That's all. I didn't have any connection with him on what he does, what I do, none of that. Or I might have had connection, but I did not go research very actively and all. But when I know there is a theater personality who's doing amazing, then it's great for me to go have them as a role model. Or if I know a parenting coach who's doing really amazing, I can go then have them as a role model. Because you know why? They would have done it for a longer time than you. They would have done it better than you. But in the journey, they would have gone one failed, and they're doing something. What if we directly learn from there here? And then start doing from here. And then there will be small mistakes. You can easily do that from there. Yeah. So that's the role model part. Next, very, very, very important is the mentor part. You need to have a lot of mentors for anything you do. Somebody to whom you give permission saying, please call me, please advise me, all of those things. But that's a very slow process. You see somebody and you will know that, hey, this person might be can be my mentor, and you reach out to them and not even ask them most of the times. Don't even ask them, can you be my mentor? But just say, hey, can I talk to you for some time? I need some advice. Who will know? Who will say no? Right? Or you can just like message them and ask them, hey, I'm in this situation, can you advise me? Yeah. And slowly and steadily that will become a mentor-mentee relationship. Okay, I actually teach
Yes.
this to my little. I tell them this should be your support system. You need to have your accountability partner, you need to have your role model and your mentor and your own friends that are being with you. That's
Yes.
I call that support system.
Like having an accountability partner is really really important when it comes to dedication. Maybe if you have a strong will, you can do it on your own, but if you're a person who is like just trying to step out of his comfort zone, then the comfort zone has a much better grip on you than your will is. So you just try to just sleep it off and just try to like don't try to like, and when no one's looking you just like don't do anything. It's sort of something like that. If you have an accountability partner, then you can do like things much faster, because they will keep an eye on you and make sure that you're doing the stuff you have to do. Sir.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir. Now, sir, please tell us about a few books that have made maximum impact in your life and why, which you would suggest for our children viewers.
Children viewers, okay, buy my book. No, okay. So basically, I'll tell you about my book also. The last book that I wrote called The Journal of a Super Kid. I'm actually doing that every morning also. So if you get that book, maybe I'll share the link with Aditya, and Aditya can put it in the description. But if you get that book, I also, and you reach out to me with your payment, this thing, then I will take you on board for my everyday workshop early in the morning, 6:45 to 7:30 for free. Okay, like you can come for lifetime, or I don't know how long I will keep doing it. As long as I keep doing it, you will keep coming for that, and it's completely free for you if you get that book, because like I want to create the maximum impact out of the book. My book asks you to do certain things, and if you just keep it on the shelf, it will just stay there, you will not do it. But what if I only make you to do it also, right? That's one. But yeah, so that's, I think I did a little bit of promotion there. But let me tell you the books that changed my life. Okay, the first book that changed my life was The Magic of Thinking Big. This book I read when I was in my college, and that changed a lot of my thought process on how exactly your mind works, how you should be thinking, what you should be thinking. Now, before that, I didn't even know we should be thinking. After that, I knew, I have to be really cautious about what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and all of those things. And that changed a lot of perspective for me. Okay, that's one book. Second book that I would recommend is I'm reading it right now, The Little Book of Big Change by Amy Johnson. It's
Yes.
amazing. It talks about habits. I'm halfway through the book right now, and I'm already thinking, oh my god, I have to tell about this book to more people. And I, like, whoever I say, hey, did you read this book? Did you read this book? Like, I'm telling them, like, some of those people, I again reach out to them and ask them, hey, I told you that book, no, have you bought it? All of those things, because this book is amazing, and this is amazing for children also to read. This is amazing for older people also to read. Anybody can read it, and this book is creating an amazing change in myself also. Like I told you about the habit that I'm changing and all that are all based on this book.
Okay. And any other?
Any other books that I can recommend? Not on the top of my mind.
Okay.
Let me.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, sir. Well, you have done a lot and impacted a lot of people throughout your journey. And who are your role models from you, from whom you have been inspired the most, and why throughout this journey?
So I believe in role models. I have a lot of role models. One of the role models is one of my trainers, Arfin Khan. He says, "Let your story inspire the world," and that is the principle by which I live. And I say, my story should inspire the world, not the stories that I create, but the way that I live. They should inspire the world. And I get all the children also to say, hey, do you want to give a resume or narrate a story when you have your first interview? They like, because if you reach it, like give them a resume, they'll know that it was printed by somebody, it was written by somebody who writes really well, and they put nice beautiful words there. That's not what resume is meant to do. But what if you say, hey, please go check out my blog, you will get to know more about me, or just go Google me and you will know more about me. Aditya can right now go and say, check out my interviews, you can actually hire me. Yeah, so now you see, that's very very important, right? So now that's what Arfin has taught me. And apart from that, I have somebody called Gopal. These might sound like small people to you, but they are amazing. They've impacted me in my life a lot. This is that person who says hard work. Like, I got inspired to do my morning things from Gopal, because every day, don't, like, if you're doing something that you love doing, don't worry about putting in your time and energy. There are a lot of people out there saying, hey, once in a week class, other times please don't disturb me, or I will only give you all of these things, then you can't reach me. But just being there and saying, I am here for you, I will do everything for you, that's something I learned from Gopal. Apart from that, I have a lot of one another person that mentors me. He's not just my role model, but he's also my mentor. Is somebody called Hafiz Khan. He's creating a lot of man-made forests across India. So he mobilizes people, he gets everybody to come, he does the crowdfunding, he gets people to create forests. Now along with him, I got my children to create a small forest with around 820 trees, and that was the first crowdfunded kids made forest with 820 trees, and some 82 children participated in it. So all of these, so I very strongly believe in having role models and mentors for myself. And what that does, it actually reduces my work, because if I start new now, I will make a lot of mistakes, I will learn and then do, but they've done all the mistakes, they would have learned it already. Now when I go and ask them, they will give me valuable advices that I can implement right now and become like that.
Yes, sir. Please, any two people whom you would like to see and learn from on this show.
See and learn from, I didn't get you.
Two people whom you would like to see and learn from on this show, which you know.
Oh, okay. I would like to. So I think the people that I mentioned till now are the people that I am seeing and learning from. One person that I keep thinking I just have to be with this person is this person called Vishen Lakyani. He runs this company called Mind Valley, and I just, like, he talks anything, I'll just sit there and keep listening to him. That's
Yes,
something
sir.
I look up to him. Another person to learn from, not much, because I learn from a lot of people. Yeah.
Sir, you misunderstood the question. I was trying to say any people whom you would like to see on my show. Any recommendation?
Oh, recommendations to have on the show? Okay, let me think. Okay. I don't know if this is possible, but I look up to some people. There's this person called Justin Colson, who is amazing with parenting. He has 6 daughters. He's from Australia. He's one of my role models. I learned a lot from him. I don't know if this is possible, if we can reach out to him and all, but just, like, he's amazing. I think he will do an amazing job in an interview like this. Who is the other person? Let me think. I think this little girl in my program, this girl who is okay, sorry, edit this. The second person would be actually not one person. These are siblings. Again, they're from my program. They very recently did an amazing thing. They are sisters, twins. Both are 14 years old, and they said, hey, we want to help girl children study. And I told them, yeah, how do you do that? They said, hey, we love doing this tie and dye t-shirt business. So you know that, no, you t-shirts, you color them beautifully and then you sell. They said, we are making these t-shirts. Buy these t-shirts from us. The part of the profit will go off to paying the school fees for girl children. Okay.
Yes.
And they set a target to pay fees for 20 children, and they started last March. April, May, June, they've already paid fees for 20 girls, and they're also saying, I have extra money in my hand right now, I want to give it off for COVID relief fund. And that's like one great thing that they've done. I didn't even realize it was only 3 months until very recently they told me, hey, this is the account, this much we've got. I was really amazed. I think they should be in part of your interview.
Yes, it would be great if you could share the contacts of the people you recommended. And sir, thank you for coming on the show. Lastly, I learned a lot, and I hope my viewers also did. And for all those children out there, I will put Mr. John's website in the description below, and you can go there, you can talk to him, you can learn from him, and please and then you can grow in life. So basically, please check that out if you learned a lot from this interview and you are inspired by sir. I certainly am. Sir, last question: any advice, anything you liked about my channel, and any advice for my for my channel Aditya Talks from the viewers perspective?
You are doing an amazing job. I think a lot of people are there out there who has to be known by a lot of people, and the kind of people that you have invited to your interview are really nice, because these are people who maybe will not come from the mainstream media. You can't see them on CNN and BBC, or they will not, like, they would have gone for very small channel somewhere that we wouldn't even have noticed. And your channel is in the right place where you say, like, I will give you that limelight. Second, a lot of people are getting benefited from that also. I like how you're sticking to that niche of you saying, hey, my viewers are children and a little bit of parents, and my questions are towards them benefiting from this. I like the way you're doing this. Is very, very good.
Yes, yes sir. So basically, thank you for that. And well, I hope we will have many more discussions. And my viewers, once again, check the link in the description below of sir's website, all the books he mentioned, and stay tuned. Thank you, sir, for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much, Aditya. Thanks for inviting me. I had an amazing time talking to you. It was like I have a channel called Young Achievers Interview, where I interview only little children, but I've been interviewing a lot of people. It's been a long time since somebody interviewed me, and I had a great time sharing a lot of insights. I think I recollected a lot of things that I did during this lockdown, and it was a very, very nice time talking to you, Aditya. Thank you so much for this chance.
Yes, sir. I will put. Sir, can you please tell us more about the interviews you do? Because I do not know about that.
Oh, okay. So now go on Google and search for Young Achievers Interview by John Pradeep JL. You will find some interviews of little children who have done amazing stuff there. Right now, my interview list is lined up for at least 1-2 months. I think I will get back and get in touch with you also. Maybe I can interview you back again sometime. Yeah, and so that's the channel there where I get a lot of when I see somebody who's done something great. I've interviewed national award winners, somebody who's done great thing with career, all of those kind of people. It's not like really big and all that, but yeah, similar format of what we're doing right now. I would like all of you to go. I will do one thing. Because I have a lot of links to share with you, I will do a link tree and share one link. So you can click on that link. You will get details of all my workshops and videos and all of those things. So now you can follow wherever you are active. I think that will be working.
Yes. Thank you, sir. And I found it out. I will put your YouTube channel also in the description below. Please be sure to check that out, my viewers. And sir, thank you for coming on the show. And I hope we meet again and talk again. And please stay in touch. Bye.
Stay in touch. Thank you so much, Aditya. Thanks all the viewers. Please follow me. I would love to stay in touch. You can contact me on any of these channels. I will reply a little late, but I will surely reply.